I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is genuinely how tall I am in real life. I know it's hard to believe, but I stand at a staggering 24 feet tall. I think I'm like a different breed of human. Like, I think I'm a new species. Scientists have to fucking figure it out and discover what I am and put it into the history books, to be honest. But I guess we should like get into the point of the video, which I think I want to talk about my pitching career. Now, I played baseball basically my whole life, ever since I was a young jit, as I would say if I was from Florida. So I'm teaching you guys Florida lingo. I'm telling you guys that I'm a new species. So basically, this is an educational channel. So we're back at the site of my last video. I think I called it like MattMarauder production studio global situation. I don't know what I called it, but it was something like that. This is basically just my studio. I wanted to get some scenic shots of the 86, and I wanted to tell you guys the story about my pitching career. So I was watching some Trevor Bauer, and he was breaking down, he plays for Mexico or some shit, and he was breaking down his pitching, and it was pretty intriguing. So I wanted to break down to you guys my pitching career as we get through this video. So it all started, I was a freshman on JV because I was just an athletic specimen. You guys know that if you watch my videos. You know how physically dominant I am. I have a 1-0 boxing record. I played collegiate football, and I pitched on the JV as a freshman. But I only pitched for one game, and you guys are gonna know why now. So it was the first practice of the season, and we were trying to find a pitcher for the team. So the coach was like, I'm just gonna ask around. So he was asking around, and I convinced 2 of my teammates to tell the coach that I was just a dog at pitching, even though I wasn't. Like, I had never pitched before because I was a fat fuck. So I basically just played first and third base my whole career because that's what fat people do. They just play third base so they can absorb all the heaters that come their way. So Coach Kenny comes up to me, and by the way, I have no respect for Coach Kenny. He's like, all right, let's put you on the mound and see what you could do. And I decided in that moment that I wanted to have full confidence in my capabilities as a pitcher, which was a good idea because when I got on the mound with full confidence, I ended up throwing gas right down the middle. I know this might be hard to believe, but I genuinely can throw a baseball 102 miles an hour. And that's, you guys could check the film, Google me, bro, and you'll see I pitch 102 miles an hour, and that's on a bad day. And I just start throwing as hard as I possibly can when I'm on the mound, and they just all seem to go right down the middle. Now, the biggest mistake of my pitching career was probably never throwing against a live batter before I got in game. I don't know what my coaches were thinking, but that really wasn't a smart move, to be honest, because who the fuck does that? As soon as I got into the game, well, we'll get into that. I smashed a medium cold brew from Dunkin' right before my first game. We're just gonna fast forward into the first game. So like I said, I smashed that cold brew. I get out on the mound, I do some warm-up pitches, and the warm-up pitches, I wasn't throwing gas right off rip. I was throwing meatballs to the mound because I didn't want the other team to think that I was like that much of a dog. I wanted them, the first batter, to be like shitting his pants as soon as he saw the first pitch come down, like it was a fucking fighter jet going at Mach 3. This is what pitches sound like when they come. And guys, I swear, dude, I put this on everything. I'm not exaggerating. Say I'm a catcher right here, and I get down into my stance. So I'm down in a catcher stance right now, and my nuts are practically touching the floor. So that's a little bit of an issue. That's why I didn't play catcher, because when I got into the catching stance, my nuts would just touch the floor. And it was like my pitcher thought I was like throwing him a fastball sign, but it was just my left and right nut swinging in the breeze. But I'm a catcher, right? I got my big meaty claws out here, and this is the sound that the catcher would hear. Like, I'm just gonna give you guys like a POV of the catcher. This is what it sounded like. And like his hand would come back. It was like this. So every pitch, he was just like, all right. And it like would knock him back in his tracks, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna stop like bragging now, but like I don't fuck around with this shit when it comes to baseball. And I actually lost my job after this game, but we'll get to that. The first batter comes up. We're actually playing a pretty good team. It's one of the best teams in my region. And this is the first time I see a live batter in the batter's box. So like I'm shitting my pants off rip. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. My first 3 pitches are just ball, like nothing too crazy. So I'm already down 0-3 in the count. And then I throw one right down the middle. And the rule in baseball is for the batter, if it's 0-3, if you got 3 balls, no strikes, you look. You look. Even if it's a strike, you take the strike. So now I got a 1-3 count, which is like the worst thing you could possibly have in baseball. First batter's up. It's 1-3, and I beam the kid in his right ass cheek. No, his left ass cheek. I beam him right in his left ass cheek. And to this day, I'm sure he still has nerve damage from that exact incident. It was bad. And I walk him, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty embarrassing, but I tried to shake it off as best as I could, but it really wasn't working out too good for me. This will flash forward a little bit. So 30 pitches later, I have 1 strikeout. I actually got 1 strikeout, which is pretty impressive. But I've walked like 3 kids. People have gotten hits off me. I'm already 30 pitches deep in inning 1. So inning 2 comes to a close, so we get some like base hits that turn into outs. I go out to inning 2. So right now at inning 2, because I remember this vividly, I was literally in inning 2 at about 45 pitches ish, which if you know baseball, That's fucking awful. But I was shitting my pants because it was the first time I was going against live batters. I don't know what the fuck these dumbass coaches thought would expect with that. Granted, I'm throwing the ball hard as fuck, but I'm really not in the strike zone. Like, I was just spraying and praying. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you should pitch. You should just be spraying and praying the whole time. Look at this fucking up-close mouth shot of the 8.6. This is pretty impressive if you ask me. Look at how wide its mouth is and how dominant it looks. It has a road presence, guys. I'm not lying. So I guess we'll just flash forward to the second inning when I hit my second batter. Nailed him right in the pinky. Like, I hit him at, like, he was holding the bat and I nailed him in the pinky. I think I shattered his whole entire hand. That hand is unusable now. He had to switch from lefty to righty. He can only write with his right hand now, which sucks for him, but, I mean, he should have got out of the fucking way. It's hard to get out of the way when you're throwing 102, but, I mean, come on, dude. Have some fucking survival instincts, you know what I'm saying? I just cannot find a way to put a strike over the plate at the moment in this second inning. So it ends with me hitting the second batter. I'm still throwing Mach 3. There's 2 outs in the second inning, and I'm at like 65 pitches-ish. And someone hits a pop-up, and then what does my dumbass shortstop do instead of catching the pop-up? He fucking sells for the team and drops it. So then I'm out there just hanging me out to dry. I've thrown 60 pitches in 2 innings. It's not a good look. If you guys don't know baseball, that's not a good look. And my team isn't fucking helping me out. So what am I supposed to do? I had a log of shit in my pants from how fucking embarrassed I was. I ended up ending the second inning, and with the end of that second inning came the end of my baseball career, unfortunately. The rest of that season, I rode bench. I ended up throwing 72 pitches in those 2 innings. So my coach was like, okay, buddy, you're never pitching again. Which is a shame, because I'm sure if I stuck to it, I'd be in the MLB right now. But hey, man, beggars can't be fucking choosers. Look at me now, man. I have my own fucking production studio and shit. I rode bench for the rest of that season. And yeah, I actually had more fun riding the bench than I did even playing baseball. I played baseball since I was 5. The most fun I ever had was riding the bench in high school. So that must say something about how boring of a sport baseball is. Even when you're playing, it's pretty fucking boring. So that's basically the whole story of my pitching career. 1 game, 2 innings, 70 pitches, threw gas, but hey man, had no accuracy. So I'll see you guys on another video and we'll catch up after that. How's that sound, all right?